Time now to meet and greet the starting fives for this, our first of our...
Good evening from the MGM Grand Garden Arena on the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. Coming up, the Consolation game and the Men Who Speak Up main event between the St. Louis Billikens and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Hi again, everyone. This is Tony Cardasco courtside. These two teams are each 2-2 after losses on this floor on Monday. Bama, in a close 68-60 game, fell to Valparaiso, and St. Louis was down 11-0 at the start and never could get back in a contest to BYU, falling 92-62. So here are the starting lineups right there. You see the Alabama Crimson Tide with a head coach, Avery Johnson. And the starting guards tonight will be Dazon Ingram and Corbin Collins. The front line of Riley Norris, a freshman, Braxton Key at 6'8", will replace an ineffective Bola Olanian. And the starting center is Jimmy Taylor. Taylor had a quick start here on Monday night and wound up with just 6 points and 2 rebounds. And so Bama with the mark of 2-2 on this season. And for Alabama, they just have to really get off to a good start this evening. Starting five for the Billikens under Travis Ford in his first season, the former Oklahoma State coach for the previous 8 seasons. The backcourt will be Mike Crawford, a 6'4 senior, averaging 9 points per game. Alongside will be Jermaine Bishop, and Bishop pumped in 27 points against BYU. That was a career best. And then the front line of DeVell Roby. Roby 6'4", a junior from Memphis. Reggie Ekbeko, and he needs to get off on the offensive end this evening, had just 6 points and 10 rebounds in the contest here on Monday. And Elliot Welmer, who averages 12 points per game, the redshirt freshman out of Columbus, Indiana. So pretty much the keys tonight for St. Louis: keep the bigs on the court. Their backups, Austin Gilman and Matt Neufeld, fouled out of Monday night's game. Reggie Ekbeko played the second half with 4 fouls, and so he couldn't do a lot of things, especially defensively. And then Bama needs to make its threes tonight. They were just 7 out of 24, and then go to its strength, which is its bench. Alabama with a very strong bench, and the officiating crew for tonight's game, the consolation contest here, and the Men Who Speak Up main event, Ron Groover, Lee Cassell, and Roderick Dixon. So Welmer and Taylor to jump, and the ball's in the air, and the tap is controlled by Alabama. So here comes Corbin Collins. He attacks, being guarded by Bishop. They'll swing it over to Ingram. Ingram on the angle, off a double team. There's Taylor on the baseline left. He looks to turn on Ekbeko, goes up and lays it in.
Jimmy Taylor.
This is shades of Monday night, where Taylor hit his first couple of shots from the field and then had just one bucket the remainder of the way. 2-0 Alabama. Let's see how the Crimson Tide will defend Jermaine Bishop. Welmer. There's Roby. Down the low block. Ekbeko looking to back down. Ekbeko, one bounce, gets his man in the air, goes up off glass. Sweet move with the left hand. So Ekbeko now with a couple of points, and we're knotted up at 2. Found the matchup they wanted. Here's Key. Last-minute starter here this afternoon. Collins around a screen. Goes all the way on the baseline. Lost the handle, out of bounds, and last touch by the Billikens as Reggie Ekbeko caught the ball, and I think he was on the baseline. Just 9 scholarship players for St. Louis, and they have to keep everyone healthy and out of foul trouble. Key backing down, spin move in the lane, lays it up and in. So Braxton Key, who had 8 points, a couple of rebounds, and a couple of assists against Valpo. And Bama is perfect in its 2 possessions down the court. Looking to counter. There's Wilmer up front. Around a curl, Crawford in the lane. His little soft, sweet shot, and that'll fall. And so Crawford ties up the game at 4. Key. Norris from three-point range, swish!
3-point goal by Riley Norris.
Riley Norris comes off of a game in which he scored 10 points. He made 3 triples. That's his high against Coastal Carolina this season. And Bama opens up a 3-point advantage. Tight man for man. There's Roby around a high screen. The pick and pop at Becko for a couple of points there. And both teams are on fire shooting from the field. Bama 3 out of 4. 2 for 2 for St. Louis. Make that 3 for 3. Yeah, 6 points. 2-3 zone now. Collins.
Foul called outside.
And we're going to get a reach-in foul on Jermaine Bishop. So Bishop now averaging 15 points a game after that performance here on Monday night. And that was a game in which he took 1/3 of the shots taken in the game for St. Louis. So Dazon Ingram. Ingram, you might notice that left shoulder is bandaged. He injured himself in the game against Valpo here. 3-pointer on the way, and that's Norris rattles out. Board to Becko. Here come the Billikens, trailing by 1. Up top, Welmer and Roby. Shovel it around outside the perimeter. Crawford looks for an outlet. There's Roby leaning in. 3-pointer. That's going to settle down. And Roby connects for 3. Yeah, just 3 points. That equals his high in the game against BYU. Key for 3. Swish. These teams are on fire. So Bama 4 out of 6 from the field. And thus far, St. Louis has yet to miss a shot. Becko with a little ball fake. There's their first miss. Jinx them there. Out of the pack. There's Key. Nice pass underneath. Riley Norris can't get it to go. And the board is pulled down by Jermaine Bishop. St. Louis trailed BYU 11-0 in the early stages and was playing catch-up the entire evening. Crawford looks for an outlet. And the between-the-legs save by Ingram. 3-pointer Collins. That's off the mark. Some contact on the board. Wilmer came down with it, and now they're going to set up in the half court. They swing it on the right side. Here's Crawford. Bounce pass in the lane. Down the lane comes Roby, and he'll draw the foul. DeVille Roby on a strong drive to the hole.
Fouls on Jimmy Taylor.
And right there, the little curl. You see Roby driving. A couple of red shirts in there. Double clutch, and he'll draw the foul. Another look, different angle. Underneath Taylor collapsing. And we have a timeout on the court. Bama with the lead. You are watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should.
Billikens head coach Travis Ford was saying that his team has had some poor practices resulting in some poor performances, but I went to their practice on Sunday and they practiced very well, good energy, and they got a lot accomplished, but they had a rough outing against BYU. One of the keys for the Cougars in Monday's game was a huge advantage in the paint. 58-32 was the paint scoring, and in tonight's game from the outset, it's been a battle back and forth, both teams with 4 points apiece inside the key. We've had a couple of ties and a couple of lead changes in this fast up-tempo game, and DeVell Roby will be going to the free throw line. We see Zeke Moore, he'll report. Moore, the freshman out of St. Louis and Riverview Gardens.
When time resumes, DeVell Roby will be at the line. He'll be shooting 2.
So Roby, who hit 39% of his three-point attempts last season, good outside shooter, and they could definitely use his spark. He goes to the line. So one more coming up for DeVell Roby. Well, after this, St. Louis will go home, and coming up a couple of big games in the next 2 weeks. They will take on Kansas State in Manhattan, and then they also have a game against Wichita State, and the Shockers come out to no one's surprise. I'm not shocked at the way they're playing. They're playing very well in the early going. There's Collins, leaves it off. Down the low block, there's Taylor. Taylor down the lane with the cut. Key for 2. So Braxton Key providing an early spark. And Bama is back up by 1. Off the double team, we get a whistle and a traveling call. So Bishop turns it over. And thus far, Jermaine Bishop has been pretty quiet, has not scored. In fact, Bishop hasn't even gotten off a shot yet. Moore on Collins. Underneath Key. There's Taylor. He shuffles his feet, could not receive the ball cleanly, and there's a turnover going back to St. Louis. So for Alabama, that'll be turnover number 1. Teams are shooting red hot, 80% for St. Louis. On 4 out of 5 shooting, Bishop, as he splits the 2 defenders. Out in the corner, there's Moore. His long-range corner 3, off the mark. And here comes Bama. Ingram, he's cut off. Tapped out of bounds, last touch by the Billikens. And that was Austin Gilman who hit it out of bounds. Dante Hall comes in off the bench. He usually provides some great energy for the Alabama Crimson Tide. A highly ranked sophomore.
32, Mike Crawford returns for
had 9 points and 12 rebounds against Valparaiso here on Monday night. And so tonight the surprise was Braxton Key playing for Bola Oladian. Oladian, the Southern Illinois transfer, the grad student. Armand Davis now also in the game for Bama. Shot clock is down under 10. And Ingram's going to back it out. Finds a screen up top. And let's see what this call is going to be. So this will be on Jermaine Bishop. And 2 personal on Jermaine Bishop. So if you're St. Louis, you have to wonder now where is the scoring going to come from? So Bishop, who had 27, scoreless here in the first half, and now has to ride the pine. And an unforced turnover. Hale was cutting to the bucket, and then Dazon Ingram throws it behind him. Turnover goes over to St. Louis. So Aaron Hines will handle the point guard spot now. Over to Moore. Around the horn. Neufeld had it. And the drive by Crawford just throws it up in traffic. And the rebound comes down to Bama. Ingram wants to run him out. The pass inside was tapped out of bounds, and that's lastly touched by Matt Neufeld of St. Louis. Again, good defense And the deflection out of bounds. A couple of Billikens actually touched that ball before it caromed out. Key on the baseline drive. Key leaves it off. Key can't get it back. And it's taken away by Matt Neufeld. Hines. And over to Zeke Moore. Moore wants a trigger. Now Hines takes it, drives in the lane, kicks it back outside. Whistle on the drive. And this foul will go against Alabama. And this will go against Dejon Ingram. And on Ingram, that'll be just his first personal. And 2 team fouls now on Bama, leading 12-11. So Alabama has 3 turnovers over the course of the last minute and a half. They came out pretty much on fire, and there's a whistle away from the ball and a push off underneath, and that's going to go on Matt Neufeld. And Neufeld fouled out of Monday night's game. They need those big bodies in there. And on Neufeld, that'll just be his first personal foul, but 3 team fouls. So Neufeld with that personal. Jermaine Bishop has 2. And Abeko comes back in for the Billikens.
Nick King in the ball game for Alabama.
And now we'll also see an appearance by Avery Johnson Jr. And Nick King for Bama. A 3-pointer hits the side of the backboard. Well, that was a really bad shot by Davis. Now the pace has settled down. Roby looks for a play. He gets it from the Billikens bench. Looks for a high screen. Gilman with the screen. Layup attempt. Roby, he blew that. AJ, as they refer to him, Avery Johnson Jr. Stutter step move outside. And that's King with the basketball. And Avery Johnson Sr. is asking for some movement by his club away from the ball. But Avery Johnson Jr. kicks it out. There's King, his 3-pointer on the way off the mark. And the rebound comes down back to St. Louis. So St. Louis has missed its last 4 field goals.
Avery Johnson Jr. is in the contest now for
And
Bama.
Bama has made just 1 of 5. Roby finds a screen, gets to the baseline, double team, kick out. Crawford to Hines. Drive in the lane, scoops it up, no. Tap up and in by Gilman, Austin Gilman.
Austin Gilman.
So Gilman, who played in 16 games before suffering a foot injury and missed the remainder of the season a year ago, he's healthy, and they could use his big body. And there's Johnson with a 3-pointer as he launched that from the angle. And they're setting it up now on the offensive end. A 1-point St. Louis lead. Hesitation move. There's Roby off glass for 2. And he does it over Dante Hall. And Hall just forgot to put his hands up. He didn't try to block the shot or alter it or anything, but a sweet move on that hesitation drive by DeVell Roby, and it's a 3-point St. Louis lead. Avery Johnson Jr. has Hale down the low block. Instead, he kicks to the King. They send it around over to Davis. Here's King. His drive underneath. Hall in the lane. Has that shot altered underneath by Gilman. And a foul underneath on Alabama.
Fouls on number 11, Shannon Hale.
And that foul on Shannon Hale. And St. Louis is starting to gain a little bit of control here as Alabama has gone cold, just making 1 of its last 7 and missing its last 4. And then you see that defense, Austin Gilman defending, and then the rebounding foul. You're watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
You're in the fight of your life. It helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life. a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas. With Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep, this award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
Avery Johnson's trying to get his team to respond. Really not a lot of movement away from the ball and very poor spacing on those last few possessions. And meanwhile, St. Louis has made 60% of its shots on 6 out of 10. And for St. Louis, the Billikens are being led by DeVell Roby, and we've seen for the past couple of minutes, Jermaine Bishop, their leading scorer, he's on the bench. Or second leading scorer, I should say. He's now averaging 15. Reggie Becco is a leading scorer with 16 per game. That's his clip.
Jimmy Taylor back in the ball game now for
Later on this evening, you can tune in to ESPN2 for the championship game between BYU and Valpo. And that's a rematch of an electrifying NIT semifinal game from last season, as BYU will look to avenge a 72-70 loss. The end of that game, Shane Hammock, who's still on the roster for Valpo, blocking Chase Fisher's three-point attempt at the buzzer. So question is, who is going to win the replica championship belt? We'll find out later on. Back to the action. St. Louis up 3 with the ball. And Alabama's been stuck on 12 for the last 4:20. The drive, Welmer in the lane. That shot's too hard off the glass. Underneath, Nick King gathers. Here's the Crimson Tide. King might take it coast to coast. He does. A little move inside, and he lays it up with the left hand. Switches from the right to the left. And King with a brilliant move inside. And so that breaks the skid there for Alabama. St. Louis leading by 1. Nice move in the lane by Johnson. Can't get that little roller to go down. Just threw it up almost underhandedly. 3-point range back the other way off the iron for Hale. Hale just cannot find his mark here in Vegas at 19 points in 19 minutes against Ball State. And last night didn't score, or a couple of nights ago, did not score on 0 for 2. Roby, angle. Again, they shade him. Found out how to guard Roby. Just overplay him a little bit to his left. That shot is rejected out of there by Taylor. Taylor with his first block of the night. And then that's Hines off the miss. Here comes Nick King of Alabama. Avery Johnson Jr. throws it up off glass. No, one and done for Alabama. And back the other way. And now Hines will slow it down to Jalen Johnson. Johnson, the freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hines to Welmer. Good ball fake. Underneath. And Johnson goes up underneath the basket with a left-handed layup for 2. So Johnson now on the board. His first basket of the night. And St. Louis back up by its largest lead of 3. Johnson to King. They have on the high post Taylor, and down low they had Nick King. And now Davis comes around a screen. Good stutter step move. His fadeaway jumper baseline will bound in. I mean, he hit the side of the rim, and that took a very generous hop. And so Davis with the basket, and back to a 1-point game with 8.5 to go. Crawford, bounce pass across the lane. Over to Hines. Hines off the curl. Here's Roby in the lane. Ball was deflected away. Regathered by Welmer. And there's a foul as Welmer went up for the shot. And Shannon Hale charged with his second personal foul tonight.
Second personal. And the 4th team foul on the Crimson Tide.
And so we have Elliot Welmer going to the line. Off of his medical redshirt season a season ago after sustaining a foot injury. He has a nice touch that they can work on a little bit more. A sweet little jump hook that seems to be nearly unstoppable because he's 6'9". His trajectory is typically on the way down.
Jermaine Bishop back in.
So Jermaine Bishop, who has 2 personals, comes back out on the court. And Weller hits 2 free throws. St. Louis back up by 3. And so Travis Ford wants to see how his team can press here out of the backcourt. Ingram back in. Ingram slices down the lane, goes up left-handed, layup for 2. Just beat everyone back in transition. Well, didn't take much, it appeared, to break that pressure. And Ingram now with his first basket. Hailed the rim by Johnson off the miss. Cleaned up by Ekpeko. Now Johnson on the return. Johnson underneath. And he drives to the bucket and will draw the foul. And that foul goes on Taylor.
Foul's on Jimmy Taylor.
Jimmy Taylor, the rim protector, but that time, yeah, he got him a little bit body, and it looks like he got him on the hand there.
We have a timeout.
Got ball, also got hand. That takes us to another timeout on the Men Who Speak Up main event.
Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to
Avery Johnson, who got teed up here on Monday night, and he had a nice little conversation with the officials there during the timeout, the officiating crew, on that last personal foul on Jimmy Taylor. Just nicked the hand of the offensive player. And Avery Johnson sat through his practice here on Sunday, and he was really impressed with the enthusiasm of his team and the way that they were executing everything. And at the end of practice, he tells the team, he said that they look like the Supersonics running the court. He said, I got so excited. You look like the Supersonics running in the old Tacoma Dome. And only me and like a couple of the assistant coaches actually knew what that meant. Like the players, Supersonics, it didn't translate very well. But his practices are great, and also, you know, the Billikens and Travis Ford both doing good things. And I'd like to see these teams like next season or in a couple with that class, that elite class now that Avery has coming in with Colin Sexton, the 5-star point guard, and then John Petty, the 4-star, Alex Reese, another 4-star. And that free throw's missed by Johnson. And one of the players that we forgot to mention the other night who's sitting out following a transfer is Daniel Giddens, the 6'11 player who played for Ohio State. So he's redshirting this season, and he'll be the replacement next year for Jimmy Taylor. I mean, they are going to be loaded because they have a nice nucleus. But here they trail by a couple of points at 20-18, under 8 to go. Ingram. They get a screen for King. And Key, who likes to penetrate and drive. Ingram. They sag down on him. Good defense. Spin move. Tries to give it off. Almost traveled. And a nice little flip pass. And King with a finish off the feed from Dante Hall. Nice interior passing by Alabama. And we are knotted up at 20. And this is the third tie of this contest. Johnson being guarded heavily by Nick King. They couldn't get it to him. And then Roby backs it out. Hines. And Roby, shot clock winding down, 6-5. And Roby might have lost it out of bounds. They'll say it was last touched by Alabama. And so the Billikens will have just 3 seconds to get off a shot.
Wilmer back in.
That hesitation dribble.
St. Louis, Riley
And then,
Norris
yeah, smart move because there was nowhere really for Roby to go. So he throws it off of Dante Hall. Inbound. Crawford on the drive. We've got a whistle and an offensive foul on Crawford. Shot clock was down to 1. Crawford really had nowhere to go. And just outside of the dotted line. And so the charge on Crawford. And for Crawford, that will be his first personal foul. 5 fouls for Bama, 4 currently for St. Louis. King, bounce pass to Norris. Back to King, left-hander, three-pointer, rings out. Underneath, that's Norris. Dejan Ingram down the lane, and he'll draw the foul. So Dejan Ingram will go to the free throw line. And you have to wonder if that left shoulder might be bothering him a little bit. Well, he takes that up very strong. Norris, you see, feeds it up top, and now the left-handed dribble. Good defense by Becco. But he gets a little bit of body in there. And again, this season they're calling first contact all the time. And that was there. And that first free throw was good by Ingram. You see the return of Corbin Collins, who's been quiet here in the early part of this game. 0 for 2 from the field, has not scored yet, and Ingram connects on 2. So Bama now with a 2-point lead. Aaron Hines. Crawford. Head of the circle, here's Welmer. Roby tries to get around his man. Nice entry pass down low at Becco. He's going to work on Dante Hall. Hines has an open look from 3!
3-point goal.
Aaron Hines connecting.
By Aaron Hines.
Hines, who was awarded a scholarship when there was a tour of the Bahamas. He was a walk-on. And Jim Cruz gave him a scholarship in the Bahamas, so he wins twice. Hall lost the handle. It was knocked away by Becco. And now Hines, who comes off the bench, averaging 6 points per game this season. And they could use his spark. Jermaine Bishop in foul trouble with a couple of fouls. Roby, step up, 2-pointer, and he drills that shot down. Roby has the hot hand, and he has 9 points in the game. The lob pass underneath, and a foul in the lane as Dante Hall went up.
St. Louis foul number 32, Mike Crawford.
And that's on Crawford. And 2 on Crawford now, so 2 on Crawford, 2 on Jermaine Bishop, and just 9 scholarship players for the Billikens. They can ill afford to lose anyone, especially in the backcourt. Norris baseballs it up top. And so Dejan Ingram will set up the offense with Alabama trailing by 3. Crawford in the lane is key. Give it off. Norris. Ingram cut off again. Backs it out. Shot clock at 15. Now the drive and the over-the-shoulder pass, and that one's going to be tipped away and last touched by Alabama. And now we're going to get that play overruled. It stays with Alabama with 8 on the shot clock. It was tapped away and out of bounds. And yeah, last touched by the Billikens inside. I think that was Welmer who touched it. I don't know if they see the shot clock, but there Norris sees it with 2, with 1. Roulette's out underneath, a whistle and a foul, a rebounding foul against Alabama as Dante Hall goes up high over the cylinder. And we're going to get the foul. That was halfway down around. Yeah. He bet on 35 red. That was a little roulette ball up there. And Dante Hall will get his first personal foul of the night. Well, that's a tough break here, and the Rims have been really kind to these teams here thus far. Zeke Moore is back in the game. Over to Roby. And they swing it over to That's Hines over there, who's covered up. Hines off the switch. They look for Welmer. Boy, there's some banging going on down low. It's getting physical there as Roby goes up, has that shot wiped away and out of bounds by Dante Hall.
Foul inside.
And we've got a whistle and a foul underneath.
Fouls on DeJohn Ingram.
And they're going to get Ingram with the foul. And I don't know, he was underneath in the restricted zone, and he just kind of ducked under rather than trying to move out of the way or stand his ground. So inside the restricted zone, that's exactly what happened. So I think what we're hearing from Travis Ford is he said that his man was bear hugged, and he's asking maybe for an intentional foul. I don't know quite what they were saying there, but we see them attending to Reggie Agbeko. And you see right there, yeah, you're still moving around and you turn your back in there. So DeJohn Ingram will be charged with a personal foul. And they had to clean up some blood off of, I think, looked like the leg of Reggie Agbeko. And so St. Louis regroups. And we're going to have free throws now on the St. Louis end. And DeVell Roby will go back to the line.
DeVell Roby at the line.
Roby's the leading scorer in this game with 9. 7 for Braxton Key of Alabama, now in double figures for Roby. Had 18 a high against Eastern Illinois. That Eastern Illinois team is coached by Jay Spoonhour, the son of the legendary St. Louis head coach, Charlie Spoonhour. I was talking with the radio crew about Spoon and Spoon Ball, and they were just bringing back some great memories because Charlie Spoonhour also was the head coach here on the West Coast at UNLV. Had an opportunity to work with him some and get to know him. And that pull-up jumper by Collins is good. Corbin Collins with his first bucket of the night. And it's back to a 3-point lead for St. Louis. No breathing room for either team. Yeah, 5's been the largest lead for St. Louis. Total rebounds 14-9 in favor of St. Louis. Hines drives, pulls up, jump shot after he hangs in the air. Just one shot and out as Agbeko tried to keep it alive. And now Alabama could slice into the lead. There's Davis. His pull-up three would tie it. If it goes, it does not go. Long rebound outside by Dante Hall. Here's Collins. And down the lane comes Davis. Off glass for 2.
Armand Davis.
So Armand Davis with a bucket. He was 0 for 8 from the field against Valpo, including 0 for 5 from distance. And it's a 1-point lead for St. Louis. Turnaround by Welmer is off the mark and tapped out of bounds, and last touch by Alabama, they'll say. And so St. Louis retains possession off that miss. Norris had it, tapped it, and goes out of bounds. You're watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
Basketball fans, we invite you to follow and interact.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should.
It's been an entertaining game thus far. There's been 7 lead changes and 4 ties. And currently, it's St. Louis on top by 1 point, 27-26. Welcome back from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas. I'm Tony Cardasco. Hope that you're enjoying your holidays wherever you might be tuning in tonight. Leading scorers thus far, DeVell Roby for St. Louis. And he has 11 points, while Dante Hall comes in to provide a rebounding spark for Alabama. But the leading scorer thus far is Braxton Key, and Key with the start tonight. Braxton Key scored 15 points in the game against Dayton. You know, this trip's been good for all the schools that come out here. It's a good time to bond, and Alabama went to see a show the other night, and they also, have a chance to spend more quality time with the players, work on things. They had some good practice time here. So we hope everyone travels home safely from Vegas. Back to the action. There's Roby up top, guarded by Collins. They find an opening. Welmer. It's a matchup zone now for Alabama defensively. That ball's knocked away off the deflection. It's picked up by Hall. Back the other way. Norris. Roby closes on him quickly. Norris again. Finds Key in the lane. The touch pass underneath to Hall. A whistle and a foul. That was a little bit of a late whistle. So Dante Hall will go to the line. That was a sweet little touch pass here. You see Key. Real quick pass underneath. And that looks like all ball from here. Great job on the replay, fellas. That's
Dante Hall at the line. He shoots 2.
But Hall goes to the line. And that free throw is good for Dante Hall. Career high in rebounds with 12. With 12 on Monday night. Both teams now in the bonus, we might add. We're tied up at 27. In what is the 5th tie of the evening. The trap at the backcourt, they'll get it out. And then Zeke Moore. Across the timeline comes Roby. See how they match up here. It's been a matchup zone for Alabama. The Billikens against BYU face that 1-3-1 zone pressure. Shot clock is winding down to 5. Roby, who's had the hot hand, he'll step up for a 3. Hail to iron and off. And back the other way, Armand Davis, and he's going to back it out. And Bama wants to set up a play. Collins, Norris, jump pass. Free throw line jumper by Key. That's going to draw iron. Hall kept it alive. Here's Key again off the double team. And the steal. Here's Roby ahead of the field. And a lay it up and in. What a night thus far for DeVell Roby. Roby now with 13 in the game. And back on top are the Billikens. You see that Stale just steps into the passing lane. And then the easy layup. I know most of you were looking for a dunk. Collins is chasing, but no chance. And 7 lead changes and 5 ties here in the first half. You hope this continues in the second half. It's been really good, closely contested by a couple of teams that are looking to go above the 500 mark on this young season. In the SEC, of course, Kentucky, the overwhelming preseason favorite. But after that, things might be a little bit up in the air. Texas A&M, a team that lost a lot of talent from last year. 3 of their top 4 starters. And Bama is picked to finish 7th. All right, we'll give Mississippi State a shout-out for you. Outside, that was Armand Davis. Forget, you always cite someone in the SEC. Shot clock winding down to 8. Here's King, and the corner shot by Davis. That's off the rim and underneath the rebounding foul. And I thought that it appeared from here that Riley Norris had some good positioning to get that weak side rebound. As you see the miss by Davis out there. Now, yeah, he had good positioning because he pushed off on Jalen Johnson. The camera never lies, right? So St. Louis looking to add to its lead with 1:06 to go in the first half.
Jr. back in the contest.
See Avery Johnson Jr. back in, and Jalen Johnson will go back to the free throw line. The Louisiana Class 3A Player of the Year last year out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That one, he bricks at the line. Got the top of the backboard even. The double team on Collins. King up top, wants to drive. Off the penetration. Norris back out to Collins. Collins off the drive, and I think there was a reach-in foul there somewhere along the way on that journey.
Foul's on Zeke Moore.
And it'll be on Zeke Moore.
His first personal.
And so Bama will go back to the free throw line as well.
Corbin Collins will be at the line.
Free throwing thus far, St. Louis has 7 out of 9, 3 out of 4 for Alabama. Bama without a field goal this drought for 2:34. And that was, a major issue in their loss here on Monday night for the Crimson Tide, was just that they kept having spurts where they would score and then they'd go bone dry for about an average of like 3 minutes at a clip. And try to get consistent scoring. Yeah, runs are going to happen, but if you have 3 or 4 or 5 droughts of 3 minutes plus, it's going to all add up. So tie number 6 in the game. Crawford, guarded by Norris. Around a screen comes Moore. Jump pass on the corner. Hines, his drive to the bucket, falling down, and he gets fouled. And also might have been stepped on as he's trying to shake off the cobwebs there on his right foot. See what happened here. 9th team foul. Drive on Avery Johnson Jr. And some contact there in the lane. Dante Hall, I should say, was in there for Alabama. And so Hines is at the line. Off the miss. 15 start to season ago. The junior, St. Louis Parkway North High School.
Braxton Key returns.
Braxton Key back in for Alabama. Hines' second free throw is good. And a 1-point advantage for St. Louis. Collins out of the backcourt. And Key, the double team. There was some contact there and a quick timeout. The ball was stripped away from Braxton Key. Picked it up. And a heady play to call a timeout with 21.9 to go here in the first half. We'll keep it right here. Alabama's strength this season has been its bench, as we mentioned at the outset. And currently it's a 9-9 tie there in points scored by the bench. Now, one game, I'm still amazed because the Ball State game, Alabama's bench scored 59 points. 59 points in that game, as many points as Ball State had scored for the entire game. That was it. So let's see how this shakes out with 21-9 and 21 right there on the number. It's going to be 9/10 of a differential on the game clock. Here's Johnson. Avery Jr. And Avery Sr. says go now. Shot clock is down to 7, down to 6. The drive by Johnson. He's cut off. Key. And the penetration, the drive underneath. Will it count if it goes? Let's see.
Blocking foul.
And we're going to get a foul inside as Dante Hall, and Hall wants the bucket. Let's see if this will count. 3-2, long 1, and that shot is still ball, and it looked like it might have been in his hands. They're going to have to review this. The contact in the paint. It might be a shot clock violation here. It appeared as though the light went on right before the ball left the hand of Dante Hall. So we'll watch it again. Officials are watching the very same replay right now. You see underneath, and that is Hall. They're still with 2 seconds to go, and the bounce pass came with 1, and I don't think they're going to count it. They're waving it off, Death. So they wave off the foul and the basket. And that could be a big play in this game with 1.4 to go in the first half. Yeah, it did not look good from here. It looked as though the ball was still in the hand of Dante Hall, the right hand. And the Billikens just take it in bounds, run out the clock, and that's the end of the first half of play. Entertaining. 7 lead changes, 6 ties, and at halftime, St. Louis is leading Alabama 30-29. So in that half, the leading scorer, DeVell Roby, with 13 points, pacing all scorers for St. Louis. Well, all scorers on both sides. And Braxton Key with 7 for Alabama. And that's where we stand right now in a 1-point game. That's been nip and tuck from the get-go. 5 points, the largest advantage thus far for St. Louis. And neither team can gain any distance from its opponent. So very good half, well played, and exciting back and forth, up and down the court. We're looking forward to a thrilling second half of play. Stay tuned, stay with us. You're watching right now, tuned in to the Men Who Speak Up main event.
Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to...
We got you out here this time, huh? My man was over.
Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to...
Like to your right.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should.
Adults already. Faster, faster. We're moving around. Stop touching.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
All right, 2 chairs, 3 adults left. Who's going around? We got Valpo out here. We got BYU. Who you cheering for, Hoodie? Bass Pro Shops? Noted, okay. I can't hate on him because of the... Circling around. Uh-oh. All right, stop moving the chair. Let's evaluate. He is on top of you. Can we get, Okay, this is a family event and you just use profanity. You're out of here, all right? Hop up. That's what it is, man. It's in my rules, all right? There we go. 2 fellas left, 1 chair. Cheer them on, Las Vegas. Cheer them on. Start running. I want y'all running. Let's go. We're running. Who's it gonna be? He keeps touching the chair. The music didn't. Music's still going. Who wants it? Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to go with a winner. Based on the majority of his behind being on the floor, our Valpo fan right here is our winner. Make some noise for all of our contestants coming out here, except for the one in the gray hoodie that was breaking all the rules.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should.
You're in the fight of your life. It helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
You want to sell me a car, John Barr? Be my guys, 2-2, and then we'll make a deal.
If you insist.
Jam.
I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Jam.
You want to sell me a car, John Barr? Be my guys, 2-2, and then we'll make a deal.
If you insist.
Jam.
I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Jam.
Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to
Welcome back from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, and you're tuned in to the Men Who Speak Up main event. I'm Tony Cardasco here courtside, and let's take a look at the stats from the first half of play, one which saw 7 lead changes and 6 ties, and everything across the board is pretty much even, other than 3-point field goal percentage, which you see there. 17% for Alabama. Bama now in the first game of this tournament plus a half tonight, just 8 out of 33 from 3-point range. And we told you earlier in Monday's contest, 49% on 2-pointers. But outside the arc, they couldn't get anything to fall. An advantage on rebounding for St. Louis. And just one assist more. Not much sharing the ball on either side. And I'm sure that's something that the coaching staffs had addressed there at halftime. So coming up, don't forget, 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern time, the championship game between BYU and Valparaiso. And looking forward to that rematch. And boy, we had a chance to see those two teams in action. And following the loss to the Cougars of BYU, Travis Ford had said that he feels BYU will be a top 20 team by January. He said that they have one of the best inside-out games that you will see. And we checked the Ken Palm ratings for BYU, and out of all the teams that are here in Vegas this week, they are rated the highest at 43. And so watch out for the Cougars. I mean, they seem to have all the pieces with the inside action, with the big guys, Mika especially underneath, and Davis, and then, of course, the Lone Peak 3. And that game coming up once again at 9 Pacific, midnight Eastern time. But the Consolation game has been a good one through the first 20 minutes of play. And as we mentioned, the leading scorers, DeVell Roby leads all scorers with 13 points. And the next nearest player is Reggie Ekbeko, who has 4. 5 other players have scored in this game. So we are set to start the second half of play from Las Vegas. So starting 5 back on the court for Alabama, Dejon Ingram, Corbin Collins, Riley Norris, Braxton Key, and Jimmy Taylor.
And starting the second half of play, both the Tide and the Billikens starting
and
their
for
starting 5s.
St. Louis, it's Jermaine Bishop, Mike Crawford, DeVell Roby, Reggie Ekbeko, and Elliot Welmer. And the steal by Alabama to start things off here in the second half. Norris, who was quiet in the first half with just 3 points. He kicks it out of there. Ingram, cross court. Key had a look, passed it up. Everyone's outside of the perimeter. Ingram on a touch foul inside will go to the free throw line. The shot won't go down, but Dejon Ingram will go to the free throw line.
Fouls on Reggie Ekbeko.
So Ingram, as we mentioned earlier, had big Alec Peters, who goes, about 250, 6'9", land on his left shoulder in the contest on Monday night against Valpo. And sigh of relief now is, Ingram can play tonight. Last season, he had that left foot injury, sidelined him after a few games into the season. Said that he could literally hear his ankle snap, and it's good to have him back on the court for Alabama. And Bama now takes the lead by virtue of those 2 free throw makes by Dejon Ingram. Back the other way. Wide open look for Crawford. Rattles home for 3-point distance. So Crawford comes to life here. He has 5. And it's a 2-point lead for St. Louis. Collins draws out the big man. Now goes baseline. Switches hands on the double clutch. And the rebound to Reggie Ekbeko. They needed Ekbeko's help underneath. No real foul problems. Bishop has 2 and Crawford 2 for St. Louis, and it's not the big man. But we see mostly Elliot Welmer, a little bit of Austin Gilman, shot clock under 10. Here's Roby with the cross, and they're going to get him for carrying the basketball. Another point of emphasis, this season. Last year, we had like 24 rule changes, a year ago. And this year, they're just working on enforcing, I think, all 24 of those rule changes. That's about it. And I think one of the biggest changes, no changes this year, but from an enforcement standpoint, they just, anytime a player sticks out his arm, like a stiff arm with a Heisman look or something, there's Ingram for 3, and that bounds out. And DeVell Roby comes down with it. You stick your arm out. If you stiff arm someone, you're going to get called, whether it's on the offensive or defensive end. Wilmer for 3!
3-point goal.
Elliot Wilmer. And Wilmer with 5. And that ties the largest lead of the night for St. Louis at 5. Collins. Maybe they'll try to feed the post. They looked for Taylor. Now they're going to look high-low. Inside-out maneuver. Ingram. A lot of passing, but nothing open until there! As Ingram with the Vegas Royal flush, and it's a 3-point game. Good ball movement. Yeah, it was a lot of passing, a lot of perimeter passing, but once they got it to the short corner, they kicked it back up top and then down for Ingram. You see the movement there. Norris, oh, what a look underneath. And Ingram was wide open, but it all started on the short corner. They fed it back up top to Riley Norris. And a 3-point advantage for St. Louis. Bishop off the double team. Ekpeko puts the ball on the floor. Nice cross. Gets it off Wilmer. Ducks underneath. Nowhere to go. Sealed off. Tapped away. Norris on a 2-on-2 break. Norris takes it all the way underneath. And he comes up short. Ekpeko with the rebound. Here's Jermaine Bishop. Wide open. Wilmer from 3-point range. He can't buy that bucket. But St. Louis is still up by 3. A whistle, and we're getting a foul on Roby. That's on DeVell Roby. And on Roby, that'll be just his first personal foul.
Second team foul.
Nice behind the back dribble and the reach in by Roby. So Norris, the jump pass to Taylor. Here's Collins baseline off the double team. Free throw line Key. The step back by Norris. Pass up the shot underneath. Jimmy Taylor put the ball on the floor. A scramble went out of bounds and last touch by Taylor and Alabama. So for the Crimson Tide now, that's turnover number 6. 8 turnovers in the game for St. Louis. I mean, Alabama is shooting 15% from 3-point range. They just can't find their range from distance. The foul will go against Dejan Ingram, and that'll be his second personal foul. Make that his third personal foul on Ingram.
Third personal.
And so you have Avery Johnson Jr. on the bench in a 2-3 zone setup now for Bama. Crawford. Ekpeko popping out up top. Roby, cross court, dangerous pass. Here's Crawford in the lane. Back over to Roby, step back 3, and that rolls out as Jimmy Taylor was defending at 6'10". Nice little run out there defensively. Key, lane opens up, and he runs into Reggie Ekpeko. Well, that lane opened up, but Ekpeko slid over, had good defensive positioning, and the charge goes against Alabama. There you see Ekpeko just sliding over to the left and just had perhaps enough of a position there to draw the charge. We've got a timeout on the court.
Basketball fans, don't miss the inaugural.
You are watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
On December.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
Bama comes out shooting 1 for 4, 2 out of 4 from the field for the Billikens, and 50%. And again, we have another drought in this game, and this time St. Louis has not scored in the last 2:16. There's really no big advantage one way or the other. Points in the paint, 16-12 in favor of Alabama. Assists, 7-5 in favor of St. Louis. Steals, 4 for Alabama, 2 for St. Louis. And 8 turnovers to 7, leading towards St. Louis in this game. I'd like to see one of these teams start to get into some sort of a rhythm or flow. We have had 9 lead changes now in the game. And Bama was a heavy favorite. So the pressure will pick up. Token pressure into the backcourt by Corbin Collins. Collins on Bishop. Bishop held the dribble. Bishop wants it back. Bishop passed down the low block and a traveling call against Reggie Ekpeko. So Ekpeko had good positioning down low, but he travels. Ekpeko tonight with just 4 points, the leading scorer for St. Louis, averaging 16. He's really struggled here in Vegas. He had 10 rebounds the other night. And tonight, Ekpeko with 4. And back the other way, the layup for 2 by Roby. So DeVell Roby gives St. Louis a 5-point lead. Turnovers back and forth. Bama with Collins and Ingram. Collins pulls up. Nice ball fake. He's going to come up short, but he gets a generous roll, and they'll say it went out at the top of the backboard. And they wave.
That's offensive basket interference.
They're saying offensive basket interference inside. Let's see what happened here. Did he touched the net? So Riley Norris pulled on, he gave a little tug on the net. And the offensive basket interference, and that'll wave off the bucket. One that they really needed. There's a drive on the baseline, and we're going to get a foul. An offensive foul against Bishop, and that'll be his 3rd personal.
Offensive foul.
So let's see what Jermaine Bishop does here.
3rd personal.
I don't know. You have the defender still moving, and that's Ingram.
Hines checks back into the ball game.
And then a collision, and not quite sure on that one, to be honest with you. St. Louis will, it appears to be back in that 2-3 zone. Shannon Hale now on for the Alabama Crimson Tide. King and Collins. They look at the free throw line. Instead, the bounce pass goes down low. Swing it around. Hale on the return to Hall. Trouble handling the basketball and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Shannon Hale. Shannon Hale was named to the all-freshman team when he was a freshman, now a senior with Johnson City, Tennessee. From three-point distance by Crawford, off the iron and out of bounds. Last touch by St. Louis. Right now, neither team can buy a bucket. Alabama with 4 turnovers in the last 3 minutes of play and no field goals in the last 3:21. They're trying to attack the 2-3 zone pressure. King around the horn, and another turnover. And the long outlet pass. Can Roby run it down? He does. Saves it in bounds, but Collins has it. Out to Ingram. Ingram bounce pass, and that goes through the legs of Elliott Welmer and got a piece of his leg and went out of bounds. That was a sloppy exchange. Armand Davis comes back on for Alabama, looking for a spark. Bama now hasn't scored any points in the last 4 minutes. So Avery Johnson Jr. will try to get things going here. Transfer from Texas A&M University. Johnson on the wing. Davis, free throw line, pull up, short of the mark. Knocked out of bounds. Last touched by St. Louis, and we'll get a fresh 30. At times tonight we've seen some great basketball. At other times it's just been really sloppy. The Billikens have led now for most of the, they've led in the second half and haven't had a tie in a while. Underneath Hale, he's tied up momentarily. As Johnson, shot clock down to 8. Davis up top. Davis off the double team. He'll swing it. Avery Johnson Jr. for 3!
3-point goal.
So Avery Johnson Jr. finds an opening outside, and he connects on the three-pointer. And the lead back down to 2. It's Roby, head of the circle, Egbeko. Guarded by Hale up top is Wilmer. Aaron Hines. Hines gets by his man, goes up off glass, draws the foul. And so Aaron Hines will go to the line.
Foul's on Dante Hall.
And that foul will be on Dante Hall.
Personal third team foul.
Just the third team foul and the second personal.
Aaron Hines at the line.
As we saw Dante Hall defending.
6-2.
Free throw by Hines is good. He played at John Wood Community College, and as we mentioned, he was a walk-on. Now the redshirt junior. Sure will want to be around next year when they've got a ton of talent coming in. Off the mark there. Johnson, who hit a 3 the last time down the court. 3-point lead for St. Louis. Calling for help up top. Davis, the high screen. And again, Avery Johnson Jr. lets it fly. And we see in the lane, Armand Davis went up, and we're going to get him flying over the back of a defender. You see the miss there. And that was the bucket that was off the mark. You see Hall just come flying in, and he gets a piece of Reggie Egbeko.
All right, it's now time for a little Summerlin
That
shootout
ball fake is
action.
something
Here's the
else.
deal. We have 2 contestants on each side of the floor.
That whole defense
Team of 2
shifted to the left.
going for
But then the
4
foul
shots. The
inside the
ultimate
paint,
4 shots. A
and the
layup,
ball goes
a free
over
throw, a
to St.
three-pointer,
Louis. You're watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
from your team.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
And we welcome you back from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas. And this game has been nip and tuck. St. Louis currently with a 3-point advantage. Largest lead for either side has been a 5-point lead for the Billikens. But now the Billikens currently haven't been able to find the hole, as they are now 3 minutes plus without a basket. Game that has featured 9 lead changes and 7 ties. And currently field goal percentage for St. Louis, 46% on 13 of 28, 38% for Alabama on 13 for 34. Turnovers now 11 apiece as we're under 12 to go here in the consolation game between Alabama and St. Louis.
Has re-entered the ball game now for Alabama.
So Hines in the backcourt with Jermaine Bishop saddled with 3 personal fouls. And there's a steal in the lane. Coast to coast is Key. And Key jams it home. Braxton Key. And that was a huge turnover. The 12th of the game now for St. Louis, and Key now in the game with 9. So Bama looking to pour on some pressure. They back off into a matchup zone. There's Roby in the lane. And outside for 3, that's Crawford, rings out. And underneath, we're going to get a rebounding foul against the Billikens. So Alabama seems to be turning up its intensity as the foul underneath on Elliot Wilmer. And you see Becko and Wilmer both inside. Either could have been charged with that personal foul. Good positioning underneath. Nice box out by Dante Hall. 1 point lead. The pass underneath. Hale went up underneath the basket. Gets it back. And he's fouled on the arm, and 2 quick fouls on Elliot Wilmer. Well, that was quick. They said they need to keep their bigs out of any sort of foul trouble. There's Hale. The first one, he just lost the handle on the ball. And then that reach in by Wilmer. Let's see if they're going to try to get another big man into the game as Jalen Johnson will report in. A break at the free throw line by Hale.
Jalen Johnson back in the contest.
One bounced up so high we thought it was going to bring some hail. And he makes good on the second as we now have the 7th tie of the game. Roby out of the backcourt quickly. Swing it on the left side. There's more. Crawford. Small weave. And a reach-in foul will be charged against Key. And so for Braxton Key, that'll be his second personal foul. As Bishop comes back in, he'll report. Jermaine Bishop, again, off of that game in which he scored 27. And tonight for Bishop, he has yet to score. In fact, he hasn't even taken a shot. Hasn't taken a shot tonight. They could use his scoring punch. The jab step Johnson goes up inside and knocked out of bounds. It's wiped out by Alabama. Third block by the Crimson Tide in this game. I think they both should get a half a block on that one. Hale and Hall. Johnson backs it out. And here's Roby up top. Roby will try the right side underneath. Nice feed to Becko, who lays it up with the left hand and in. So Reggie Becko. And now we have, that'll be the 10th lead change in this game. Outside, here's Key. Cross-courting it. Here's Davis with the floater in the lane. Just glances the iron. An off-balance shot. Back the other way, Bishop. Hesitation dribble. Jump pass underneath. Becko, and a huge collision between Reggie Becko and Avery Johnson Jr. So that foul goes against Jr.
Avery Johnson, his first personal.
That'll be just the first personal. Nice little give and go. And we saw Avery Jr., or AJ, just cut off the lane. That bounce pass comes in underneath, and we're going to get a whistle on a foul as Jalen Johnson with good positioning underneath, and the foul on Hale. And on Shannon Hale, that'll be personal number 3, and now the 7th personal, and we get the 1-and-1.
Jalen Johnson at the line shoots 2.
But now Johnson was in the act of shooting. The bonus. Jalen Johnson, I think his high this season was 5 points against Eastern Illinois. That Eastern Illinois game was a huge comeback for St. Louis. They're used to trailing in games. They were down 44-33 at half. And the second half, they outscored Eastern Illinois 41-25. And back to a 5-point advantage. Avery Johnson Jr. The high screen. The kick out. And Ingram stepped out of bounds. So Bama just cannot get in sync. And another turnover. That'll be the 12th on Alabama. 12-12 on turnovers in the game. 9.5 remaining. The consolation game. The Men Who Speak Up main event. Roby found a hole underneath it. Becco goes up off glass for 2. So there's Becco getting into the act now with 8 in the game. And it's a 6-point lead. That's the largest lead of the night. But outside, let's see if they can get back in the column as Key cannot. Off the miss. And inside Key with the rejection on Zeke Moore. Outlet pass and Moore with the Euro step drive. And you got to give him the block.
Mike Crawford back in the ball game.
We see Corbin Collins
returns.
And he'll replace Avery Johnson Jr. The nickname for Collins is Uncle. They call him the Uncle because he said, well, Avery Johnson Jr. said that he drives around a lot of the players on the team and then he just goes home and goes to sleep. He has a car at least, right? He's got wheels. Here's Becco. Yeah, double meaning. He's got the car and he can run up and down the court. Corbin Collins. You know, Collins started his career at LSU. And then he went to Morehead State, and now he's a graduate student. And Avery Johnson, liked him, wanted him to play at Bama because he felt, having started his career at LSU, as Collins has the ball, he felt that Collins already knew the SEC. There's Hall in traffic, lays it up for the right hand and in. And Dante Hall powers his way inside, and it's back to a 4-point game. Crawford to Bishop, lost the handle. Now he turns around, throws up a jumper, no good. Back the other way, Dejon Ingram. Ingram to Collins. They had a high screen set up by Hall. Now he'll set up a screen again, goes out there, but Shannon Hale throws up an air ball. Nobody under because Hall went up to set a screen. So the lead remains at 4. Moore up top. Here's Crawford. Crawford around a screen. His pull-up 3. And over the back will be on Becco. So the personal foul on Reggie Becco will be his 3rd. The shot by Crawford. And then good, nice positioning inside by Collins and good block out. Becco with his 3rd personal. You're watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
You're in the fight of your life. It helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas. With Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
Foul trouble now for each side with 3 fouls apiece. Ingram, Key, and Hale for Alabama. And for St. Louis, Bishop, Ekbeko, and Welmer each have 3 apiece. As we head down to the final phase here with a 45-41 contest. St. Louis leading, and you never thought that these numbers would be this low. I mean, St. Louis comes off of a game in which it gave up 92 points to Brigham Young. And Alabama, you would think, would be able to get a lot of points off of its bench. But just a short edge there at 15-12. This game again has featured 9 lead changes and 8 ties. Alabama shooting 38% from the floor, 43% for St. Louis. So here comes Bama. Collins and Ingram. Back to Collins. His pull-up jumper from 17 goes down. So the man from Uncle, let's call him, Corbin Collins. They call him Uncle. They do. Not making that up. It's the elder statesman of the team. It's a respect thing. There's Crawford, gets around, reverse layup, good, and the foul underneath. So Crawford finds the baseline here. He gets around Norris, finds the edge, reversal for 2, and a free throw coming up.
Crawford will be at the line. He shoots 1.
So Mike Crawford, senior from Tipton, Indiana. Atlantic 10 all-academic team. Made 43 triples a season ago. Has a career high of 22, and that was a big bucket there. And the foul. Completes the three-point play. 5-point lead again for St. Louis. And a turnover by Alabama. They just cannot protect the ball. Can't get into any sort of a rhythm here this evening. Largest lead for St. Louis is 6. St. Louis trying to complete what would be deemed an upset here in Vegas. Cross court, Bishop. There's Crawford. Throws it back outside. Shot clock to 8. Crawford with the 3 off the mark. Long outlet pass. Let's see if King could run it down. And we've got a blocking foul against St. Louis. So Nick King, they had a little bit of a break there. Bama trying to do anything it possibly can to get some momentum in this game. And the collision. And Crawford just grabbed him. So we have Nick King going to the line.
Nick King is at the line.
7 points, 5 rebounds in Monday night's game against Valparaiso. The Memphis transfer who sat out last year due to the transfer rules. Gets a lucky bounce in. King, a one-time Tennessee Mr. Basketball out of Memphis. And makes good on both. And it's down to a 3-point lead. This one could come down to the wire. Bishop. Popping up top is Crawford. Terminates the dribble. Now Johnson in the lane. Doesn't know what to do with it. Gives it off. And that three-pointer by Bishop is good. So just when they needed him most, Jermaine Bishop fills it up.
DeVell Roby on that three-pointer.
Or make that Becko with the rebound. I said it was Roby. It was Roby on the three-pointer who has now 15 points. That was Roby. Here's Roby again between the legs with the dribble. Johnson from three-point range. A left-hander swish! And talk about getting some rhythm going. Look at St. Louis go. They're up by 9 are the Billikens. And Avery Johnson wants to talk things over. Well, his team just looks flat. They look absolutely flat in this game. And DeVell Roby has 15 points in the contest. St. Louis now in front by 9.
Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to
Avery Johnson talking things over with his club, who finds himself trailing by 9 points with 5:17 to go. And it is Thanksgiving time, folks, and Avery Johnson, the head coach of Alabama, raised in the Latif Housing Project in New Orleans, and he played down south at Southern University. And a great gesture this past summer in August. You might remember all of the floods and what was going on in Louisiana, and so the native Louisianian donated an 18-wheeler full of supplies, and he sent it to Louisiana. And so that's what Avery Johnson speaks volumes about who he is and what he does for the folks back at home. So Shannon Hale will come back in for Alabama. A balanced score sheet. Key leads Alabama with 9. They work it around the perimeter. They look for an open shot. The shovel pass in the lane, thrown away by Key. Taken back by Bishop. Bishop will back it out. Under 5 to go. 9-point lead for St. Louis. Johnson up top. There's Roby. Roby passed down to the baseline. That's taken away by Nick King. So King with the steal. King at the head of the circle. Hale had a 3. Passes it up. Key with a 3-pointer. That's good.
3-point goal by Braxton Key.
So that puts the end to a 6-0 St. Louis run. And it's a 54-48 game. Becko, he tried to get it to Johnson, but good defense outside by Key, by Braxton Key. Both teams in the bonus here as we head down to the home stretch. That shot by Roby was altered by Ingram. Here's King in the open court, between the legs with a dribble. Outside, here's Ingram. King wanted to shoot. Ingram to the trailer King. Now he gets his shot, and he hits it from 3-point range. So that was a quick 6-0 run for Alabama. And it's back to a 3-point game. So they work inside. Ingram gives it off to King. King with the money shot, and back to a 3-point contest just when you thought St. Louis would be putting the finishing touches on. Stay tuned for the conclusion. You're watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
When you're in the fight of your life, it helps to have an army on your side. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada treats more patients than all other Nevada treatment centers combined. Comprehensive is affiliated with the U.S. Oncology Network, advancing high-quality cancer care with one of the nation's largest networks of community-based oncology physicians. Comprehensive Care. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada, your best ally in the fight against cancer.
Renting a car, huh? Me too. I like to get on a big line, check in at the counter, fill out some paperwork, and just take off. Hey, line's over here, my friend.
Not for me, pal. I'm with Silver Car.
Silver Car. Car rental the way it should be.
Travis Ford trying to settle down his St. Louis Billikens. A quick 6-0 run in just 51 seconds has Alabama within a one-possession game. And Travis Ford, I think, wants to remind his team, you know, the closeout in that game, St. Louis went the last 4:09 in the contest against BYU on Monday without any points. And that's when BYU really poured it on. So let's see what can happen here. And an exciting conclusion to the Consolation game. St. Louis has led in this contest for over 25 minutes. Hate to give it up here. Welmer to trigger it in. And Avery's going to stick with this five with Ingram. He has Hale in there, Collins, King, and Key on the ball, defending Roby. Is Crawford, their best ball handler. Turns the corner. Shot clock down to 10. Here's Crawford against King. Off the switch, and he runs into Key, who had positioning. Well, they're going to call a blocking foul on Braxton Key. Let's take a look at this one again. Shot clock was under 10.
That's the ninth team foul.
And not sure if he set his feet or not.
Mike Crawford will be at the line.
And so Crawford will go to the free throw line.
He should be 1-1.
Key maybe a split second late to the spot. So Mike Crawford, who averaged 10 points a season ago, and one more coming up for Mike Crawford. And Crawford against BYU had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, but he also had 4 turnovers in that game. Still a 2-possession game. 3:15 to go. There's Key, Ingram. Good spacing by Bama. But everyone's outside. Hale's going to trigger from three-point range. That's long. And Ekbeko with the rebound. And look for St. Louis to try to slow it down again. No. Here's a three-pointer on the way. No good. And the tip-in by Ekbeko off the miss by Jermaine Bishop. Nice tip-in by Reggie Ekbeko. And Ekbeko now in double figures with 10. It's back to a 2-possession lead. A 6-point lead for St. Louis. Ingram found a hole in the lane, throws it up. Avery says, hey, you know, I played in the NBA, was an NBA coach. That's continuation. It'll just be a shooting foul.
Second personal.
There's a drive, the high screen, and the reach in on Roby. Roby got the worst of that exchange. And I would have counted in the NBA.
Dejon Ingram will be at the line shooting 1-1.
So Ingram in the 1-1. Ingram is known as a slasher. Misses the free throw. And he got to the line, but now you need to complete your free throws, get that bonus at least. Still a 6-point game. When does Bama start fouling? They're reaching in, ball hawking. There's Johnson, lost the handle, a whistle, and a traveling call against St. Louis. It's a time that you back that out, and that's only going to come with some experience, and that's the freshman, Jalen Johnson, who turns it over. See what Bama could do with the ball. Collins with the ball fake to King. They have a high-low, and they look for Key. He's in the lane, has to back out of there. Collins to Key, springs loose, fires up from three-point range. It's good! So Braxton Key now with 15, and it's back to a one-possession game. Crawford is tied up in the backcourt, and wisely calls a timeout for St. Louis. Good patience by Alabama to find this open shot. And the freshman, Braxton Key, from long range. See Collins just drawing the defense in and then kicks it back outside on the perimeter. That's a heady play by the guard. He found the open look. No one was even close. Roby was very late closing. And a good look for Braxton Key. Key and Roby each have 15 points in this game for the respective teams. Let's hope that the championship game is along the same lines as this one, because this has been a good game and shaping up to be a game that will come down to the wire with a minute 51 remaining. Bishop to send it in. They put Hale on the baseline, and there's Johnson, the freshman, and he travels. I thought he stepped out of bounds, but they said that he traveled beforehand, and so the turnover going over to Alabama with a chance to tie. He just changed his pivot foot. Key kicks it outside. Hale for the tie. It's good! Shannon Hale with a three-point shot. Makes the bucket. And here's Roby. Outside to Crawford. Back up top to Roby. 9 ties in this contest. Roby, penetration, drives in the lane, a whistle, and they're going to call an offensive foul against Roby. So DeVell Roby, a little bit out of control. He got into the paint. That's his third personal foul. And you see Braxton Key just set himself in a stance right there in the lane. Good defense by Alabama. I think Roby knew where he was going to go anyway, because he didn't have, everyone was covered underneath the basket. So we are tied at 57 apiece. Up top, Key, and then Bishop with the reach-in foul. And so it's going to become a free throw parade. 6-0 Alabama lead in just 42 seconds. Meanwhile, St. Louis, which had a 9-point advantage in this game, has turned the ball over 3 times in the last under 2 minutes. So Key at the line. Looks good on the first. So Nick King is in the game, and a 1-point lead now for Alabama.
1 minute.
So St. Louis, which has led most of this game, now trails by 1. Bishop.
Timeout requested by
And Travis Ford wants to talk things over, and we'll keep it right here with 51.9 remaining. Nope, we'll take a full break. Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of this one on the Men Who Speak Up main event.
Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to Bayer Healthcare is a proud sponsor of this year's Men Who Speak Up main event, Duke versus UNLV and the Lone Star Shootout, bringing prostate cancer awareness to center court through Men Who Speak Up. Men Who Speak Up is a national program that encourages men living with prostate cancer to learn the symptoms of advancing disease and speak if they experience warning signs, when and where it matters most. Did you know that 1 in 7 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime? Education and awareness make the best defense in prostate cancer. Join us in raising awareness and helping men feel more comfortable talking about symptoms. Visit menwhospeakup.com to
Alabama with a late charge to take a 1-point lead over St. Louis here in the final minute. There's going to be 17 on the shot clock, as you see, and 51.9 remaining in this game. And you just hope the championship game following the conclusion of this contest on ESPN2 between BYU and Valparaiso will live up to these expectations, because this one's coming down to the wire. The inbound, here's Bishop. High post Wilmer sets a screen up top. And Bishop's going to fade away from three-point range. And I think that Collins got a hand on that. Collins with the basketball. And Ford says hold off on the foul. And Alabama's going to talk things over, and they'll take a timeout with 35.1 and 25 on the shot clock. So do you risk it and try to get the ball back with 10 seconds, which is plenty of time? You can get a defensive stop. It's a 7-0 Bama run over the course of the last minute 25. And Bama came out of a timeout before this run, and you could just see a little bit of a change in the Crimson Tide's demeanor. They turned it up a little bit, turned it up a notch. You don't want a team, though, that can turn it up, on and off, or at least rely on that at any given moment. So let's see what happens here. They back, try to get the stop. I think if you get it inbounds here and they guard the backcourt inbound, at a certain point you might have to foul if you want to get the ball back. Let's see. 10-second differential. Just play straight up defense. And there's Key, has the baseline, goes up off glass. He missed the shot. 15 seconds for St. Louis. Back the other way. And we got a turnover as Crawford stepped out of bounds. So now we're going to have to see a quick timeout as Bishop got the ball. He threw it to Crawford, who was standing on the sideline. Oh, that right foot stepped out of bounds. And so Alabama is going to talk things over here. They'll have a full timeout now. So Bama is leading by 1. Let's see if we can see if he did step out. There's Bishop. He picked it up late, but I still don't know where he stepped out of bounds. Fans are watching our replay. Here it is again. There it is. Yep, the right foot. Yeah, that quieted them down. Yeah. In basketball, you can go out of bounds and come back in. It wasn't anything like that. So 12.8 to go. Free throw shooting percentage. Let's see. Who do you foul in a situation like this? I mean, for Bama, even Braxton Key at like 64%. 69 for Collins, 71 for Dazon Ingram, 75% for Riley Norris. 12.8. See who else is in there. Nick King is in there, and he's a 67% free thrower. So St. Louis will try to get a quick foul. There's a long inbound pass caught by Collins, and then we finally get a foul by Ekbeko. So well-designed play, a little risky, but 11.3, and St. Louis, even if Bama can make both free throws, will still have a shot to tie this game. If Collins can make two, and as we mentioned, Corbin Collins is a 69% free throw shooter. And career 69%. So this season he's about the same. So he's consistent, makes the first, and it's a 2-point contest. No timeouts remaining for St. Louis. Collins makes it a 3-point advantage. So Welmer, he throws it away on the inbounds. Ingram has it, and he's fouled from behind, and everyone just froze. How about that? So here's Welmer, looks on the baseline and just nonchalantly throws it in bounds, and he can't get it into the hands of Jermaine Bishop.
Dejon Ingram at the line shoots two.
Well, Welmer was thinking so much about throwing it in and then running down the floor. And now a 2-possession lead for Bama. Man. The redshirt freshman will have plenty to think about on the flight home. 2-possession game. Bishop off the inbound. Bishop is going to drive coast to coast, lay it up, and that shot is rejected underneath. And a foul. No, that's the end of the game. There was no foul called off the block shot as Dejon Ingram got the block, and Alabama takes home third place in this tournament. Yeah, that was just a clean block. And then no foul at the end by Crawford. So a little bit more difficult than Alabama had anticipated. But they pull out the victory here tonight, and the leading scorers, DeVell Roby, 15 for St. Louis, which now falls to 2 and 3, while Alabama now at 3 and 2, paced by Braxton Key, the freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, who had 16. So we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Thanks to our team here and James Crawford and company. I'd like to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving wherever you might be. Don't forget, coming up at 9 o'clock on the West Coast and midnight Eastern time, it'll be BYU in action against Valpo for the championship. We thank you all for tuning in. Once again, Bama wins the third place prize. You've been watching the Men Who Speak Up main event.